Eating things in between meals, like snacking, could be one of the things that really slows down fat loss a lot. There's two primary reasons. I've talked about it in other videos, but I'm gonna break them down really quick today in this video. And then I'm gonna give you something that I drink in between my meals that seems to sort of help the hunger pangs, but also makes it so that I feel like I'm getting a little bit more of an effect. Plus, there's also some concrete evidence backing up some of the ingredients that I have in this. So we're gonna talk all about that. But first, you're tuned in to the internet's leading performance, nutrition, and fat loss channel. We got new videos every single Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday at 7 a.m. Pacific time, whether it's recipes, information, education, whatever, you name it. Go ahead and hit that red subscribe button and then hit that little bell icon to turn on notifications so you know whenever I go live. So we're gonna be cooking up some stuff, or I guess mixing up some stuff, but first let me give you a quick bit of science. In between meals is where fat burning occurs. So I do not care if you are intermittent fasting, if you are keto, if you are a carboholic, if you are vegan, if you are paleo, I do not care. In between the meals is where the magic happens. What happens is when you eat food, no matter what you eat, you have an insulin spike that occurs to some degree. And that insulin spike flips a switch and puts you in absorptive mode. Whether you are gaining fat when you eat or not is irrelevant. All that is for certain is that you are definitely not burning fat at that point in time. You burn fat when you are not eating, because when insulin levels come back down, glucagon comes up. And when glucagon comes up, that's what activates cyclic adenosine monophosphate. That's what activates all these things that allow fatty acids to be mobilized and burned, okay? Plain and simple. The other thing we have to pay attention to is gut motility. When we take a break from eating, even for a few hours between meals, and I mean anything, not a single peanut, our digestive system has a chance to actually recover. Therefore, meaning it's more powerful at burning fat when it comes time to digest the food. And it also just makes it so bacteria can balance back out so we get the right balance of what is called the Firmicutes and the Bacteroidetes bacteria. I'm not gonna go down that route. So anyway, I drink this and it tastes freaking awesome. All right, so all I've got here is I've got 10 to 12 ounces of water, okay? Then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add as much apple cider vinegar as I really like. This is what's gonna give it like the bite. Okay, so with apple cider vinegar, I'm usually just gonna do, I don't know, maybe 3 tablespoons, just kind of eyeball it there, maybe even closer to 4. I like a good bite. Here's the thing, in between meals, the acetic acid that is in the apple cider vinegar is not only gonna help you digest faster and get you through that gut motility phase faster, but it also helps what is called uncoupling protein 1. So it actually helps the migration of white adipose tissue to brown adipose tissue, which means it's helping you at a genetic level to burn more fat because it's turning what would normally be just boring body fat that hangs out there, it's turning it into something that actually has a thermogenic effect. Now, there's a multitude of studies that I could talk about when it comes to apple cider vinegar, but I don't even want to bore you with that. Okay, next up, I add just a dash of salt, okay? You can use Himalayan, you can use Redmond real salt. I'm a fan of these guys just because it's good quality stuff that's made here in the States. Now, the thing with salt is it's going to trigger what is called an NST receptor. A lot of times you get hungry in between meals because signals get crossed. So long story short, what salt does is it satisfies some of the same electrical signal within your body that gets triggered when you're craving sugar. So blood sugar issues that cause cravings and stuff like that can sometimes be nullified by just adding a pinch of salt. So with that, I just added, I don't know, that was maybe a 1/4 teaspoon or so. Okay, here's the big one. Okay, I use some ginger juice. Now the reason I use ginger juice is because it's a huge digestive benefit. So I'm adding a fair bit because I like the bite of it. Now, if you've ever had those Bragg's apple cider vinegar drinks, I've talked about them in other videos, we're essentially making our own for a little bit cheaper, but also something that we have a little bit more control over. So the ginger juice contains gingerols. Now, gingerols are going to do a lot of things from an anti-inflammatory standpoint, so it's gonna help mitigate some of the inflammation that occurs simply as a result of eating in the first place. All I'm trying to do with this meal is bring me to that quote unquote fasted state as fast as possible. Everything here is about digestion, cravings, and hormonal or electrical responses. So this has a big effect. Plus, it tastes really good. I use the ginger juice from the Ginger People. Honestly, they're probably the only way that you can get fresh ginger juice. You could grate ginger in there, but then you're dealing with a mess. So these things are awesome. So they have it in a 32-ounce size. They have it in a really small size. You can get them on Amazon. So I linked out to them below so you can check them out. They're super awesome, really cool people. Okay, then the next thing that I'm gonna add in there is I'm gonna add as much stevia as I need, which is usually going to be probably a good 10 drops or so. This all depends on how much ginger you put in there, honestly. You're just gonna have to mess around with the taste a little bit because this stuff is powerful. And it is going to make it so that you have no appetite afterwards because of what it's gonna do in your digestive system. Like it really does calm you down. But if you use a lot of it, you're gonna need to overpower it with some sweetener because this stuff is pure concentrate. It's pure ginger juice. So probably 10 drops is probably good there. Mix it up, sip on this, and we are in business. That tastes like a ginger lemonade. It is probably one of the most refreshing things that you could drink on a summer day. In the wintertime, you could even make it warm if you wanted to. So that's it. I drink that between my meals and it helps me reset, makes it so I'm not wanting to munch on things because remember, one peanut's gonna trigger that glucagon response and then you're right back to square one. Calories in, calories out matter, but we wanna be burning fat in every possible way that we can at every possible opportunity. So that's it. So make sure you're keeping it locked in here on my channel. And if you can, go ahead and check out the Ginger People down on Amazon. They're the #1 ranked ginger juice. So I'll let the reviews speak for themselves. But anyway, as always, keep it locked in here. I'll see you in the next video.